signing up for a Calendly account is very simple. Just go to calendly.com, and then we're going to go ahead and just put in our email address here, and we're just going to hit sign up. Notice here it's going to ask me to sign up with my Google account, which is fine. I'm just going to say yes, and then I'm going to select my Google account that I want to use. I'm going to go ahead and put in the password. And now Calendly is going to ask me, is it okay if I go ahead and look and manage the calendar that's on Google? And I'm going to say yes, allow that. Now we're going to walk through just a few initial setup screens here. One is going to ask me, how do you want to be known to the rest of the world, right? So we're just going to keep it at the default, but I could put it as anything really that's not being used. So be creative and add whatever you feel is a thing that you want to do. Just select continue. Now here it's going to go ahead and look for conflicts as well as add events, and we're just going to hit just the default. This is fine. Now we're going to specify which hours that we want. This is just a default setting. We can go back in. I'm going to show you how to modify this in a minute, but I would just take the default 9 to 5, for example, Monday through Friday. Now, this last screen doesn't matter about anything with your setup, but let's just go ahead and hit finish. Now I selected choose an event type from the box. I should have shown that to you. And we're back here. I'm just going to go back to the event types by selecting event types. And we're just going to stop here for a moment. This is really the base screen. So if you were to go to calendly.com/JeffreyLush9, what it's going to do, and let's go ahead and give that a shot. Now here you can see the URL, and here it's going to give me 3 areas that I can make meetings: 15-minute meeting, 30-minute meeting, or 60-minute meeting. And you can see here that these are all represented here as well. So it's pretty straightforward. And what it's doing here, when I click on this, it's looking at my calendar at jeffreylush9@gmail.com, and it's looking at my calendar and making sure, you know, where I have availability based on some rules that I've established, and I'm going to show you how to do that right now. But that's essentially the benefit of using Calendly. There's no longer the need to go back and forth with people and find time on their schedule and all that other stuff. You can just simply ask them to go to your page and pick a time that works for their schedule, and they'll look through it and pick a time, and away they go. The key thing here is that you have to be organized enough to put things on your calendar when you don't want to meet with other people. And so that's really the one downside, is you have to put things on your calendar. Although you could adjust those things so that people can only see those real times that you absolutely will be available. So you don't have to make it 9 to 5. You can make it very limited. So let's go ahead and just edit one of these. We just click on there and hit edit. And we're going to say, we're just going to edit the title. We can edit the location. We can say, we can put all that, a description. We can edit the link. This one happens to be 30 minutes. But here's where some of the meat comes down here. I can tell it what the duration time is. And these are really just, accept these defaults. They'll probably work for you originally. Sometimes this is, you know, if it's a reoccurring meeting, do you want them to set it on your calendar more than 60 days? You know, that type of thing. You can adjust that too. But here's really the meat of this is how we set up the meeting time itself. So here, let's say 9 to 5 right now is available on all Mondays. That's how we have it working. But I don't like that. I really want to have only available, because I got things going on in the evening. So let's say that I want to go from 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock. That's it, just on Monday nights. So I can say apply this to all Mondays, or I can apply it to every day of the week. So if I decide to do that, now notice here it says 9 to 5. Watch, it will change 8 to 9 p.m. So I can make that available as the core. I'm always going to have an hour a night to talk to somebody, and those are the times. Let's say on Sundays, for example, you want to expand that a little bit. Let's say that you want to say, hey, I'm available, let's say at 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock a.m. All right, and I'm available again from, let's just say, 3 o'clock to 3:30. Okay, and do I want to apply that to all Sundays, or do I want to apply it to multiple days? I can just click on this multiple days if I want to apply it to multiple days, but I'm just going to do it to Sunday, and now you see those times. So when we go in to look at the calendar, beforehand we couldn't see any meetings or availability on Saturdays or Sundays. So let's see what that looks like now that we've made those changes here. Now we still don't see it within that area. And we don't see it because I forgot to hit save and close. So we're going to go ahead and hit save and close here in just a minute. But let's take a look at some other things. You can, we're going to go ahead and save and close that. You can go ahead and have questions that you use. You can add notifications, all types of things you can play with. But honestly, at this point, you're good to go. You're ready to roll. So let's go ahead and go back. And now let's go out and check to see what our changes here, how that impacted what we see from a user perspective of your calendar. So we've gone ahead and signed in again, Jeffrey Lush, and now we're going to go to the 30-minute meeting block. And now notice, whereas before we did not have Saturdays and Sundays available, but we do have it now because we've set up, if we look and edit this, remember right here, Saturdays are from 10 to 11 and 3 to 3:30. Sundays, 10 to 11 and 3 to 3:30. So let's see if that's true. So we could do an appointment at 10, 10:30, or 3. Now, why isn't 3:30 showing up there? Well, because if I had a meeting at 3:30, that would go from 3:30 to 4. And the only time I made available was between 3 and 3:30. Same thing with the 10 to 11 a.m. The last meeting I have is at 10:30 a.m. because 30 minutes from that is 11. And so that's how you basically, that's all you need to do. And then you just leave it alone. And then when somebody schedules an appointment, you're going to receive an email. Now, I've put on your screen what that's going to look like. They're going to send you an email message, and they're going to say, hey, a new event's been created. It's been created by this person. Okay, this is a test, so it's by me. It's going to be from this time, and any additional information you ask for will be provided within this email as well. So that's what happens when you're the person who's doing the scheduling. You're going to receive notification that all is well. So that's about it for Calendly. That's all you have to do. Now, if I want people to see my schedule, I just simply give them this URL right here. I copy it and send it over to them, and then they can immediately manage their calendar without having to go back and forth with me in email trying to find a time that works.